Himalayas. How are you guys?
Very good, thanks yourself.
Nice to see you again.
And you, back at Reading Festival. How's it been so far, and looking forward to the weekend?
It's been insane. Mental crowd, just can't believe it. Back with a bang, I guess. Yeah, it's insane.
And a bigger stage this time.
Yes.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's every time we come here, it feels like it's kind of building. Reading's quite a nice way of sort of measuring how we're doing, to be fair. And every time we played here, it's bigger crowds. They've gone off more. I mean, this time there's people who knew sort of all the words to the album songs and everything. So yeah, it's really special to be back.
And with that new record now out for everyone here to hear, there might be people who haven't heard it yet. So for those who haven't heard it, tell us a bit about the record.
What are you doing with your time if you haven't heard it yet?
Agreed.
No, it's it's kind of the culmination of about 5 or 6 years of work, and a lot of it was sort of written over COVID, so it was a little bit rushed getting in to do it, but in the end it felt like a really sort of fair and just solid representation of what we're trying to do.
It's average, isn't it?
3 out of 5.
Yeah. I'm glad you can rate it like that. Have you started work on the next 5 out of 5 record of you guys?
Yeah, the follow-up has begun.
As my favourite thing the Hive said is like the soon-to-be award-winning record is what they've said about the latest album, which I really appreciate.
Yeah.
And so that's the next one of ours is soon to be award-winning.
Yeah, the year after the Hives win them all, though.
Yes, yeah. You just have to hold back now, just to be sure.
You don't want to try and compete with those guys at the end of the day.
They've already prophesised it. It's already there. So we have to wait for after them for sure.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. Exactly.
So how's it sounding in comparison to your debut that you released?
More like mature, I guess, to an extent. But then we're just like embracing the fact that we're a rock band. I think on the first album, we had songs that maybe tended to like cater towards something else, because when we first started we weren't necessarily a rock band. I think we were probably more on it like an indie kind of feel of it. So I think we kind of found our feeling more as we went along, and we've realised we're a rock band and we want to make rock songs and songs that people want to go crazy to at shows like this.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting heavier and bigger, and the way we've been developing it is there's a bit more of a live kind of feel going on as well. But I think we've kind of doing the first album was a really good experience, just in terms of I think we're all much better musicians for it. So the next one, as it's coming at the moment, it feels like a real step up. But there seems to be maybe a bit more sort of focused to what we're looking to do now.
And do you have a plan with this record, or is it a case of seeing how it turns out when you're in the studio?
We do have a plan, but we have music coming out in the interim between now and the second album, which is already ready to go. So I think that's the thing, is we know the direction of that, so I think that's the stepping stone from where we are now to where we're going to go on the album too. So we have a pretty clear plan, but things change in the studio every time.
Yeah. What is this interim plan then? What's the music coming out?
We'll have new music out. I think it's going to be October, November.
We can't give too much away. And it is very it's very exciting. And when it comes out, I think it will be quite the story, but
some really good people. So I think that's the
That's the feeling you're going to have. Collaborative effort is what I'm going to say.
In terms of like production and stuff like that, just like working with people that we've wanted to work with as well, and just taking it up a whole step, I guess.
So would you say, is it new stuff, or is it left over from the record? Or
we've never played this.
100% new.
Anything that we did on the first album that we played live, we didn't do, is probably being postponed or just held or whatever. We might get around to something.
It'll be on the
it's been archived.
It'll be on the B-sides compilation in 10 years' time.
We can't be in a room together anymore.
But we still run out of money, so
to do money,
keep releasing, but you guys aren't around.
We'll have a vault of deleted tapes that we can release on an album later on.
All the songs that Louis wrote for album 1 that are currently sat in the bin.
The fridge songs.
Yeah.
Free songs, really.
That's
Get them out, defrost them for a bit.
Believe me, Louis' songs are in the tundra.
and they'll stay there.
So
funky as anything.
So once you finish here this weekend, what's your plan next? Where are you heading off to? What are you doing?
So we've got to.
Man, I'm gonna go to bed for at least a day.
You know we've got shows to promote though, James. So
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe don't answer like that.
Oh, sorry. No, we are going. We're going on some sort of, what do they call it? Is it like a you get in a van and
A tour.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
In,
TORE.
in non-UK areas, I believe.
Yeah, so we're supporting a band called Loveless. There's a few European dates, a few in the UK, and I think the last one's in Dublin. So it's really exciting. There's a few places we've never played before. That's going to start sort of mid-September, and there's just going to be more studio time. We're hoping to do some more of our own shows towards the end of the year, so hopefully we'll have some announcements with that soon. But yeah, at the moment it's just working hard on new stuff, and obviously the tour coming up in September then.
And you hoping to go overseas into Europe and maybe to the States as well?
Definitely, yeah. We've just come back from Europe. We've done a few shows there the last couple of months, and as I say, a few of the Loveless tour dates are over there as well. It's always just so much fun going over. You know, the way you're kind of looked after and the crowds. It's really something else. So hopefully over the States. You know, probably not this year, but hopefully next year if we can.
We've been saying about going to the US again for like so many years.
We probably said that to you last time we were here.
And to be honest, every time it's been like a what if, but I think this is actually the time we're going to go. So it's probably 2024, just by the look of the schedule that we have. So it's probably 2024. And yeah, people won't have to ask us anymore, are you coming to the States? You know.
Inevitably we won't be playing where anyone wants to see us, but we can't say we haven't tried. So.
All in between.
We're playing on the Statue of Liberty.
We might get lost and go to Canada instead. Yeah. We'll see.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Now, when it comes to writing for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
So I write everything, obviously, and then they get put on the fridge, and Joe and Mike write.
The first record was pretty much Mike and Joe with. They did a lot of ideas. Obviously, we were all COVID from home, you know. So these guys did a lot of it on from home, and they really came together. But then it was when we actually went to record the albums when I think they really came together. But I think this second record that we're working on is a little bit more doing it together. Well, not doing it together like, you know, Michael Joe would write something, bring it to the practice room, and it becomes a song before it goes anywhere. Whereas previously it was a bit, we've got this, let's go to the studio and record it, and then it evolves. So it's quite interesting how we're.
Notice how many you haven't said a word.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to cut Louis off there because. You know.
No, sorry.
Cut yourself off as well.
Yeah, no, sorry. I think the second record's a bit like more expansive, I guess, in the sense that we're not being so particular about it. I think before, when we were like starting out, we've been writing songs since we were very, very young, like all of like subpar quality. But I mean, you know, early bands and stuff where you just naturally learn to do it, and it takes time. It's like some people have a natural knack for it, which obviously does help. But I think you have to put the time and effort into your craft, like, and really make the most of it. So I think that's something we've been lucky enough to have the time to be able to do it. We haven't been rushed to make an album or make a record, or that's this band. Like we've taken loads of good shows and kind of found our feet, and so the music moving forward is kind of the stuff that we want to do, and there's no pressure or kind of sway to do it in a certain or particular way.
Yeah.
But generally, yeah, myself and Mike write the song, come into practice, and like, hey, should we do this? It changes and stuff molds into different things. But even on this new, like the new stuff of the second album, we come up with something. We'll come in, we'll play it in the room, and then generally I'll go home and make a demo, or we'll make a demo in the practice room or studio, and then we'll send it off to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Third album, all AI.
Yeah. We've already started speaking to Chat GPT about it. We've got some good results so far.
A Chat GPT on board.
Yeah. They love it.
So.
We're a little bit worried they might just go ahead and do the second one before we get a chance to finish it, but we'll see.
I wish we could AI Louis. Just Louis be AI. Just.
It's really easy.
You just talk about coffee and bore you. You know?
Yeah.
Which is what AI pretty much does, just bores people.
Nah, that's not true.
It's true. It's just full of like waffle.
Is it?
Really? Yeah.
Like you two when you do an interview.
Exactly. See, you know. Yeah, you're catching on. There we go. Full of waffles.
Guys, it's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
So nice.
You too, man. Yeah,
It's
thank you so much for having us.
And thank you.
Really
for all
hungry for waffles now.
And no, thank you for
cheers
all the reports, the support you've given us for the past few years. Like, although we
Yeah,
haven't
thank you very
seen
much.
you in a while, but like we know every time you play a song, and it's great. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Really
Thanks so
appreciate it.
much.
Thank you.
Cheers.